ain't no gunshots, but they getting low, 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 low.
How the hell are you? Can you see me? Cool. No glare? Perfect. Alright. So, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I'm going to just go ahead and do it now because got 2 new cards in the mail. Well, and they're just sort of missing from the recipe of the deck. So, I have the deck with me now, of course. This is Yosenju for the July 15th ban list. I don't know what people are calling it. I don't know if it's still Yosenju Stun. I guess I consider it Yosenju anti-meta because I side deck a lot of hate for the meta matchups. And a lot of people saying Yosenju wasn't viable. It hasn't topped anything to my knowledge since after April 1st when Vanities was limited to 1. But we gotta lose a turn now. And even before lose a turn, man, I still was playing the deck. I still felt it was viable. But let me get into this right now, man. I'm gonna start with monsters. So, standard. Let me just make sure you can see it. Can you see it? Alright, it's comma 1. Standard, you're gonna need 3, comma 1. Standard. 3, comma 2. Standard. 3, comma 3. Standard in the Yosenju deck. You need these 3 cards. You don't need this. This is something I started playing actually. Battle Fader. Battle Fader. Yeah. I'm actually going to trade out Battle Fader for a Swift Scarecrow, simply because Battle Fader kills Secret Move because it stays on field, and there are times when your opponent will not attack your Battle Fader because maybe they're scared to attack because you have a lot of back row, or they just know that you can't use Secret Move with Battle Fader on field. So I will trade Battle Fader out for Swift Scarecrow because it's a good card to have and they have nearly the same effect. Only difference is Battle Fader stays on field. It can be useful staying on field to protect you, sort of as a 0 wall, just to, soak up a hit for you. But, I think I'm just going to play Swift Scarecrow. 2 Sujik, standard in the Yosenju deck. Some people play Sujik at 3, I don't. So, I shouldn't really have to get into this. If you know Yosenju, then you know the deck. But if not, I'll get into it anyway. I'm standing behind the camera, so you can just see my arms. Alright. Comma 1. If you're familiar with Yosenju, you know what comma 1 does. Okay, there is a glare. Anyway, comma 1, he's your compulsory. He basically, you summon him, target a monster, send it back to hand. Basically, it sets your opponent back. Comma 2, this guy, he's kind of your beat stick, 1800. If you have a Tinky on the field, he'll be 1900. He's pretty good beat stick. He also has the ability to attack directly, for half damage. So if you have 1800, attack directly, it'll be halved, and that'll be 900, if my math is correct. Yeah, that'll be 900. Your opponent will take that. Okay, and then you often use that in conjunction with comma 3. Basically, attack for 900, comma 3, his effect, when a Yosenju monster other than himself does damage, or when another Yosenju monster does damage other than one copy of him, you can search for your deck for a Yosenju card. That doesn't just mean monsters, that means any Yosenju card. So basically, comma 2, attack directly, or just punch with a monster. You can comma 1, punch. Basically, you're going to punch with a monster, you're going to use his effect to search. Great card, obviously, it's important in the deck. And then Battle Fader, what if I'm going to trade out for Swift Scarecrow? Basically, your opponent declares an attack. Let me read it. When your opponent monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand then in the battle phase. If this card is special summoned by this effect, banish it when it leaves the field. Swift Scarecrow is a very similar effect, except instead of staying on the field, you discard it from hand when your opponent's monster declares an attack, and you end the battle phase. That way, it won't be on field during the next turn, so then you can activate Secret Move, because Secret Move does not work if you have a non-Yosenju monster on field. Okay, so that's the monsters, and I guess we could get into pendulums now too. Yosenju L. Yosenju Shinshu L. Basically, you use this. I only use it in my pendulum zone because when it's in the pendulum zone, it protects your monsters from being destroyed. So that's what you use it for. You put it in your pendulum zone, and if a monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, I believe, if a Yosenju monster you control would be destroyed, by battle or card effect, then you can destroy this instead. So that's very useful. I played at 2. I used to play at, well, actually I never played at 3. I meant to play at 3 a while ago, but I had R instead. But now I'm playing at 2. So yeah, that's monsters for you. Oh, did I go to Sujik? I didn't go to Sujik. Yosenju Sujik. Basically what Sujik does, he's like a Kalut. when he's in your hand, if a Yosenju monster does battle, you can discard him from your hand, and that Yosenju monster will gain 1,000. Also, you can summon him on field, and he has a similar effect. You can target one Yosenju monster you control, and it'll gain 1,000 attack. You can even use that on himself. So he's actually, he can turn into a 2,000 beat stick. You know, if you just have him, you can make him 2,000. Only bad side about him, not really bad side, it's just only thing you have to keep in mind about him, he's not like the other Yosenju monsters. All the other Yosenju monsters have an effect that allows them to get off another summon, except for like the Shinshus. So basically, like Kama 1 can summon a Kama 3 or a Kama 2, and they're all normal summons. Sujik does not have the extra normal summon effect, so if you summon Sujik, that'll end the normal summons. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. That's you know, standard Yosenju monsters. Yep. And I'm also gonna play Swiss Scarecrow. Alright. Let's get into spells here. I don't play too many spells. 3 Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality, pretty good card because you're able to, let's talk about Duality first. You all know what it does. It's a staple card. It allows you to draw 3 cards. Well, excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, pick one, and shuffle the other 2 back in the deck. You know, you pick one to add to your hand. You guys already saw this, but here it is. Dark Hole. I play 2. Because Dark Hole is at 2 now, and because Yosenju do not, oh my god, like glare is terrible. Because Yosenju, actually, I think I might turn. Anyway, I was thinking about closing the window. I was debating. Anyway, since Yosenju don't stay on board, you can play double Dark Hole because of the fact that, you know, they don't stay on board. So with them being off board, you can use Dark Hole to clear your opponent's field and, you know, swing for big damage. Basically, Yosenju doesn't really do good against other decks that swarm, so you need some sort of way to clear the board in case you get swarmed on. So Dark Hole is just that. Another staple, Mystical Space Typhoon. I play it at 2 now. I used to play it at 3. I play it at 2 now, simply because I don't know. I just needed to make room for the most part, and I felt it would be okay at 3. So Mystical Space Typhoon, pop a Speller Trap, you know, staple. Fire Formation Tinky. This is a staple for any Beast Warrior deck. It's basically the reinforcements of an army of Beast Warrior decks. Also, but it's a continuous, which means it can be negated by MST. It's not really negated, but it's just, it won't be able to resolve. And that's sort of troublesome because, you know, that's your searcher. It lets you search out a Beast Warrior. Also, when it's on field, Beast Warrior monsters gain 100 attack. So if you have 2 of them, your Beast Warriors will be gaining 200. So it's a really good card for a Beast Warrior deck. You kind of need it. It just makes the deck that much faster. Only problem, I guess you could say about it, is it takes up board space, and that's sort of something I don't like. I don't really like the fact that it takes up board space, but you know, I deal with it, obviously. So yeah, that's, oh, I'm sorry, that's not it for spells. Then I also play, I'm also playing Book of Moon at 1 for now, simply because actually I might have miscounted. I believe I'm playing 40 cards. I mean to be playing 40 cards. So Book of Moon, basically target a monster that gets flipped face down. That can be used to get rid of troublesome effects. Basically, if I'm playing more than 40 cards and I find out, I will basically take Book of Moon out. I'm sorry I kind of threw this together. I was excited to do this since my cards came. But Book of Moon, yeah, it's looking like 40 cards. I was playing on Ego Pro, I'm playing Gores, but I realized Gores is not good for this deck. It's because you have to control no cards to use Gores, and most of the time you're going to have hella back row. So yeah, Book of Moon for right now. I might replace it, might not replace it, but Book of Moon. So yeah, that's it for spells. Yeah, that was sloppy. I'm just shifting them into a corner. So we're going to get into traps now. I guess I'll do one of those first. Sorry about that weird cut, man. I'm having all sorts of bad luck with this video. My phone just said the video size capacity was reached, and then someone called me earlier. Anyway, this is I'm gonna go ahead and get into traps now. So, one of Solemn Warning basically negates the summon of a monster, obviously. If you don't know what it did, that's what it does. You pay 2,000 life points to negate the summon of almost any monster. Very good, so you can stop BS from getting on field. Because, you know, if it can potentially harm you, you don't want it on the field. Why can't I speak today? Compulsory escape device, or is that escape? I'm sorry, compulsory evacuation device. Activate that, returns a monster on the field to hand. Very good for setting your opponent back or just stopping a play. Vanity's Emptiness. After the April 1st ban list, Vanity was moved to 1, so I have it at 1. All these cards are at 1 because they have to be. So yeah, those got moved to 1. Now I am going to go into more traps. So yeah, those are my 1-of traps. And then I have... Do you guys just see that ghost? Ghost just flew across the camera. Anyway. Mirror Force. Mirror Force is very helpful because Yosenju does not do well against other decks that can swarm. So you need to be able to clear the board, and it's just very defensive. So Mirror Force at 3. If you're playing something like Burning Abyss, which will float, I would play Dimensional Prison instead of Burning Abyss, especially since their effects go off in grave. So yeah, if you're playing like the Yang Zing matchup or Burning Abyss matchup, or even like maybe Cleaforts, but Cleaforts swarm though, but still Cleaforts can also resummon themselves from the extra deck because Konami was just on drugs. But yeah, sometimes D-Prison is a better choice. Fiendish Chain might start playing Breakthrough Skill over Fiendish Chain, because what happens a lot is when you play Fiendish Chain, you'll stop a monster with Fiendish Chain, and then you'll use comma 1 to send that monster back to hand. And because of Fiendish Chain's effect, when the monster is destroyed, Fiendish Chain is destroyed. So if you use comma 1, Fiendish Chain stays on the field and just takes up space, and is very annoying. So yeah, I might start playing Breakthrough Skill. But the thing is, Fiendish Chain is more defensive because it can stop attacks. But, you know, I don't know, to each their own. I'll try it out, see what one I like better. Secret move. Yosenju's secret move, the big nope. It pretty much negates anything as long as you have a Yosenju card on field. You're probably thinking that only works on your turn when you're attacking. Well, no. If you're not used to Yosenju, then you should look out for this. Yosenju Shinshu L, because that is a Yosenju card that you can put in your Pendulum Zone, and you do that, and that'll keep Secret Move live. The reason I need to stop playing Battle Fader and start playing Soul Scarecrow is because if there's a non-Yosenju monster on your side of the field, Secret Move is not live, and that can be problematic. So it will be a lot better to play Swift Scarecrow over that to defend yourself. Also, oh wait, I already went to Shinshu L. So yeah, Secret Move. Now, this is like the prize card right now. This is like the prize card in this deck. Whoop whoop! Lose 1 turn. Let's talk about this, because I know this shit probably getting banned. Basically when a monster is special summoned, the turn it's special summoned, you negate its effects, and if it's special summoned and attacks, it moves to defense. Its effect is only negated for that turn. There was confusion about it. Yeah, the effect is only negated for that turn. So basically, lose 1 turn, oh my gosh. In this deck, especially since all your summons are pretty much extra normal summons, it is freaking amazing. So yeah, that's traps. Now I'm going to get into extra deck. Extra deck is nearly complete. I just need Silent 101. So, basically, Ragnazero. Number 103, Ragnazero. If a monster, let me read this effect to be sure. It's glaring. Basically, it says, 2 level 4 monsters, once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ from material from this card. Target 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls whose current attack is different from its original attack. Destroy it. That can be very useful. Lightning Chidori, this ran me some money. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it amazing? Yes. Basically, when it's summoned, you target 1 set card, return it to the bottom of the deck. Yeah. And then once per turn, you can detach 1 XZ material, target 1 face-up card, and return it to top of the deck. So it basically sets your opponent back a turn. Herpes Pet Phantasmal Dragon requires 3 level 4 wind monsters. It can attack directly for 2,000, and it cannot be targeted for attacks. Basically, but the thing is, it loses material every end phase, every one of your end phases. So basically, you can punch them for 6,000, assuming they have no way of stopping it. Abyss Dweller, I don't really play this card much, but it can be useful because it stops effects in the grave. Number 50, Black Ship of Corn. This card is, I don't like this card. This card is only here because I don't have Silent Honor Arc, number 101. But if I did, I would be playing that. Utopia, simply because, why not? I mean, I had it, why not? Bujinki Amaterasu, I don't use this often, but requires 3 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 of your banished level 4 or lower monsters, special summon the target, hardly happens. Or on your opponent's turn, you can target, wait, I have no reason to play this card. Just realize that. Gaga Cowboy. 2 of them. Why? Because this helps with the OTK play. You can get your opponent to 16 quite easy in this deck, and just double Gaga because it is not hard to get 4 monsters. Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. Basically, you can detach 1 XZ material from this card, target 1 face of monster your opponent controls, change to face down defense, or you can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 face card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. You might have seen my card discussion on this card. Played in this deck because it is a walking skill drain for non-Beast Warrior monsters. Very good in this deck. That's the extra deck.